Ahang yoni madhitishtami chaiko mayedang purnam panchavidam cha sarvam Mamishalang purusham devamidyang viditva nichayemang shantimatyantameti. I alone stand as the basis for the world of Māyā. All these fivefold elements are fully pervaded by me. One who inquires in this way about me, the Lord, the Supreme Person and the Governor of the universe, attains peerless peace. Praneshvantarman asolingamahur asmin krodhawa cha trishna kshama cha Trishnang hitva hetujalasya mulang buddhya chitang sthapayitva mayiha evang yemang dhyayamana bhajante teshang shanti shashvati netaresham. The marks of mind implicit in the vital airs are said to be hunger, thirst, and restlessness. Those who, cutting asunder the thirst which is responsible for all activities, fixing the mind in me through reason, and meditate on me, get the peace eternal, not others. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha anandang brahmamang jnatva na bibheti kutaschana. Knowing me as Brahman, the bliss from where speech along with mind recall, unable to reach it, one does not fear anything whatever.
Namaste. Well, these verses are the most profound yet in Shiva Gita. I alone stand as the basis for the world of Māyā. Māyā means that which does not exist. So if it doesn't exist, if it's an illusion, if it's a transient phenomenon, a mirage, it has to have some basis. For example, in the desert, sometimes there's a mirage of water. It's not really water. It's just the sunlight or the sky reflected or refracted through the temperature inversion layer over the hot sand. But it looks like water. Similarly, this world seems to exist, but because everything in it is temporary, none of it is really existent. So its existence is only relative. Relative to what? Shiva. Shiva, as the symbol, the name and form of Brahman, is the absolute basis for all phenomena, for all existences, for everything that be and everything that happens. It has to be that way, because for this world to exist, this temporary relative world, there has to be a permanent absolute world for its basis, and that is Shiva. He says directly, I am the basis for the world of Māyā. Now, we could go on a deep dive into the Upanishads or Śiva Purāṇa here, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to leave that up to you, because there's so much else to cover in these 3 verses. But you can download Śiva Purāṇa from the link in the video description, and that is highly recommended if you really want to understand Shiva, if you really want to become a devotee of Shiva and worship him. All the information is there. Now, next he says, all these fivefold elements are fully penetrated by me. What elements? Earth, water, fire, air, and space. Everything that exists in this world is made of these 5 elements, or some proportion thereof. So if he pervades these elements, if he is the origin of the Mahat Tattva, the repository of all the elements in the universe, that means he is everything, or he is in everything. Although not that these things are identical with him, but he is present in them by means of his suzerainty, his control, his domination, his penetration of all these elements. So try to understand, every time we do anything in this world, we are dealing with Shiva. It has to be that way, or Shiva would not be the absolute. He could not be the symbol of Brahman. So everything, everywhere, in every way, is nothing but Shiva. We should see like that. Then automatically we become devoted. And one who inquires in this way about me attains peerless peace. Why? Because if we develop a relationship with him, we're never separate from him. We're never separated from him. We're always in contact, even just through the existence of the body. But the body is not us, The body is something that is made, and we simply inhabit it like rented house. So at the end of the life of the body, we get evicted, and then we have to go find another house. Isn't it? So this is the actual reality, which people in material consciousness never understand. They never get it because they're attached. But if we cultivate detachment, vairagya, discrimination, viveka, then we can understand. Actually, this whole world is a big machine. It's just a play on a stage, and we are the actors. But the director, the scriptwriter, is Shiva. Shiva and Shakti, they are complementary. Shiva is the power, and she is the powerful. So, by means of her agency, he creates this entire world. He delegates all that to her. He doesn't do it personally himself, but by his energy, he creates these powerful beings, beginning with Shakti Ma. And they do all the work of manifestation, creation, population, and management of the details of this world, according to his directions. So next, the marks of mind implicit in the vital airs are hunger, thirst, and restlessness. Don't we all have these symptoms? Aren't they the goad that moves us to action in the world? Hunger, not only for food, but for possessions, for control, for knowledge, beauty, power, wealth, even renunciation. And the thirst for experience. We want to experience so many things, especially when young. We see the young people rushing here and there like there's no tomorrow. Why? Because they're thirsty for experience. They don't realize that all this experience is ultimately nothing. It will all end at the time of death. So what's the use of chasing all this, so many things? If it's your karma, it will come to you. You don't have to do anything. The world is going to happen with or without your participation. So just relax. You don't need to make a big effort. One of the things about Ramana Maharshi that impressed me very deeply was his ease, his casualness, the aplomb with which he dropped great knowledge to his devotees. It was all easy for him because he was just telling what he saw. He didn't need any scripture or a script, He didn't need any policy or any directives. He just spoke what he saw, and that was enough. More than enough to cut asunder the thirst which is responsible for all activities, as Shiva does here. And devotion to Shiva does the same. One of my astrology clients asked me, how can I dissolve this karma which is binding me to the world? And I said, well, you don't need astrology to answer that. It's sadhana. That's what sadhana is. That's what it's for. It dissolves these ties of karma, these binds, the binding. Buddha, when he was ready to step into nirvana, he said, this is unbinding. And this is very pleasant because it means the end of all material experience, the end of karma, the end of rebirth and suffering. So those who meditate on Shiva get the peace eternal. And the best way to meditate on Shiva is the Panchakshara mantra, Om Namah Shivaya. That's why we recommend it. That's why we end every single video with that mantra, because this is the key to the door that leads out of this material world and out of suffering. So here Shiva describes in verse 49, Brahman as the bliss from where speech along with mind recoil, unable to reach it. Now this is a line from the Upanishads. The nature of Brahman is beyond mind, beyond language, name and form, beyond concept and understanding, beyond action and will, and identity, and all these things that trap us in the material world. So there's no way to explain it, but we can realize it without the mind, without speech, in the deep silence of samadhi, in meditation. That peace which passeth understanding, as the Bible puts it. And that peace can be known by devotion to Shiva, by devotion to God in any form. But Shiva is the most direct because he directly admits that he is Brahman. He is not any figure of this world. It would be wrong to characterize Shiva as the creator of the world. Even though he is its governor, he is far beyond that. So with that, we'll close and leave you with these words, these mantras. Om Tat Sat. Om Shakti Om. Om Namah Shivaya.